All right. So we're looking at the next question, question number 17. We've done question number 16. We'll look at the next one, which is question number 17, which is on the board already. And the question states that if a gas absorbs 200 joules of heat and expands by 500 cm cube against a constant pressure of 2 times 10 raised to the power 5 Newton per meter squared, then the change in internal energy is. I believe by this time, if you follow all the videos I've done on that thermodynamics and energetics, you should be able to at least attempt this question. So I'll urge you to pause this video and try to attempt it to see if you can get the answer. So, however, if you solve and you get an answer or you don't have an answer, just wait for the correction while I solve. So what? Let's solve this now. Now, from the question, we have if a gas absorbs heat, 200 joules of heat was absorbed by the gas. Absorbed heat, that means heat flows into the system. Heat flows into the system is positive Q. So I'm going to have plus 200 joules. And check, the gas expand. Now, once a gas expand or once a gas change in volume at a constant pressure, there's a work done. Recall that work done is equal to P delta V. At a constant pressure, change in volume is equal to a work done. However, what kind of work done is this? Is it a positive work or a negative work? That means, is it work done by the gas or work done on the gas? Now, from this word expand, it means work is done by the gas. If the gas contracts, it means work is done on the gas. Contraction, expansion. Contraction is work done on. Expansion is work done by. So this is work done by. Work done by will be a negative work. However, we are not giving a value for work done. We are giving parameters to actually look for work done. Now, you will agree with me that work done is equal to P delta V, right? Yes, which is force times area times change in volume, right? Yes. So I'm going to say, what is force? Unit for force, Newton. What is unit for area? Meter squared. Then what is unit for the volume? It is meter cube. With this, we can actually look for our work done. We are given pressure in Newton per meter squared. However, we are given volume in cm cube. But the volume we need here should be in meter cube, what I have here. But the unit for volume given to us here is in what? Cm cube. So we cannot solve with 500 cm cube. We have to convert it to an equivalent amount in meter cube. Now, you should know this. You should know this. One meter cube is equal to 10 raised to power 3 dm cube is equal to 10 raised to power 6 cm cube. Now, once we know this, we can easily get our answer. So in this case, I already know the relationship between meter cube and what? Cm cube. So 1 meter cube is equal to 10 raised to power 6 what? Cm cube. X meter cube is equal to 500 cm cube, right? Yes. So I'm going to look for x what? Meter cube. I'm converting 500 cm cube to an equivalent amount in meter cube. So x meter cube will be equal to 500 over 10 raised to power what? Of 6. So I'm going to have what? 500 times 10 raised to power minus 6 meter cube. So I've been able to get this. Convert convert this. So please, I hope you are writing this because I want to clean that part of the board now. So now that I know this, my work done will now be equal to minus 500 times 10 raised to the power of what? Minus, sorry, you are getting it wrong here. We've not solved for work done, rather we've actually converted what's it called, volume, from cm cube to meter cube. That's true. So can we look for work done? Work done, which is a negative work, is equal to P delta V, which is equal to what? Given to us, what's the pressure? 2 times 10 raised to the power of what? 5 Newton per meter squared times 500 times 10 raised to the power minus 6 meter cube, right? This per meter squared, everything out. I'm going to remove 1 here, so I'm left with Newton meter. So if I solve this, I'm going to have 100 Newton meter as what I have here as work done. However, but you will recall that it is a negative work done, so we are going to assign the sign on it. So we are going to have minus 100 Newton meter, which is also equal to, this is 100 joules, abi? Yes, I'm going to use the word minus 100 Newton meter is equals to minus 100 joules. So I hope this is clear to this point. So let's now look for internal energy. How do we solve for internal energy? U is equal to Q plus W. Our Q is a positive Q plus, however, our W is a negative one, minus W. So I'm going to have 200 plus, open bracket, minus 100. This will give equal to 200 minus 100 plus 100 joules. So the answer is not plus 300 joules, it's not minus 200 joules, it's not minus 100 joules. The answer is plus what? 100 joules. Check, punch your calculator and see if I am wrong. All right. So we move to the next one. You are still writing, pause the video so that you can write well. Can't be wasting time. So move to the next question. Question number 18. Now we have, for the reaction CX plus O2 to give CO2 gas, option A, delta H less than delta U. Option B, delta H greater than delta U. Option C, delta H equals delta U. Option D, none of the above. All right, so let's see how we can tackle this kind of question. So it's a very simple one, however, if you know the relationship between delta H and delta U, right? Yes. So let's see. Now, you recall that delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. However, I cannot solve this with this formula. But you also recall that delta H is equal to delta U plus delta N arrow T. So this formula will be so important to us here. Now, what is delta N? Delta N is summation of mole of the gaseous product, summation of mole of the gaseous reactant. Summation of mole of the gaseous product minus summation of mole of the gaseous reactant. That's delta N. So I will go to the reaction and see how many mole is the reactant. 1. How many, the product? 1. How many moles are the reactant? 1, 1. However, you have to be very careful. Remember that we said that delta N is equal to the summation of mole of the gaseous product. Gaseous. So in that concept, this carbon here is out because the carbon is not gaseous, it is solid. We only work with gaseous species. So this is a gas, this is not a gas. So this is out of this concept. So we can now solve. So my delta N will be equal to, this is the product. How many mole of product do we have? 1. Minus, how many mole of gaseous reactant do we have? 1. How many mole of gaseous products do we have? 1. How many mole of gaseous reactants do we have? 1. So 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So we'll go back to the equation and say data H is equal to data U plus data N arrow T. This will be equal to data H plus 0 open bracket arrow T. Now anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So data H is equal to data U. So is it in the option? Yes. The answer is not B. The answer is not A. The answer is C. Check very well. Okay. Move to the next one, number 19. Number 19. For which of the following reactions delta H is greater than delta U? Option A, N2 gas plus 3H2 gas to give 2NH3 gas. Option B, CH4 gas plus 2O2 gas will give CO2 gas plus 2H2O liquid. Option C, PCl5 gas will give PCl3 gas plus Cl2 gas. Option D, HCl aqueous plus NaCOH aqueous to give NaCl aqueous plus H2O aqueous. So if I were you, I'm going to pause this and actually solve it myself. So it's a very simple thing. We should know the formula that delta H is equal to delta U plus delta N RT. So how do we get delta N? Delta N is equal to summation of mole of the gaseous product minus summation of mole of the gaseous reactant. So we're going to look at option A. Let's analyze. Seems all the species here are all gaseous. So what's the mole of the product? 2, 3, 1. So our data N, not data H rather. Data N will be equal to, product is 2 minus summation of the reactant 3 plus 1. Once we are talking about the mole, we are not talking about this amount here. We are talking about the coefficient, the one in front of the substance. 2, 3, 1. That's what we are talking about. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So we are going to have minus 2. Option B, delta N. Let's look at the coefficient. This liquid, so it's out of it. It's out of it. So we have 1. We have 2. This 2 here. And we have 1 here. 1 here. So it's going to be what? Equal to 1 minus 1 minus the sum of this, which is 3, will give us minus 2. We'll go to option C. We have 1, coefficient of 1 here. Coefficient of this guy is 1. Coefficient of this guy is what? 1. So the sum of the gaseous product, mole of the gaseous product, 2. Then the sum of the mole of the gaseous reactant is 1. So I'm going to have delta N equals 2 minus 1, which is plus 2. However, these are aqueous. So being aqueous, we can actually not really work with them. So we have this. Now take note, sign convention. If delta N is positive, first of all, let's make delta H, let's make delta nRT, what's it called? Let's make delta nRT subject. So we are going to understand what I'm trying to say here. Delta nRT, let delta nRT will be equal to delta H. Delta nRT will be equal to delta H minus delta U. So for this guy to be positive, it means this will be greater than this. If you minus this from this, to give us a positive value. Are you seeing it now? So if delta N is positive, then delta H should be greater than delta U. Now, if this guy, if delta nRT is negative, now it means that this is small while this is big. Are you seeing it now? So if this is small and this is big, if you do it mathematically, put a bigger here, let's say 5 here, and put 2 here. Do the mathematics. You discover that this place will be what? Negative in sign. Put a small value here and put a big value here. Let's say put 2 here and put 5 here. You will see that to be. So if our delta N is negative, my delta H is less than delta U. Now, if this value is 0, it means that both of them are the same. What does it mean? If here is 5 and here is 5, 5 minus 5 give us 0. If here is 2 and here is 2, 2 minus 2 give us what? 0. So if delta n is equal to 0, therefore delta h is equal to delta u. So now that we know this, we can now solve this answer. We cannot get this answer. Now the question now is, in which of the following is delta h greater than delta u? For delta h to be greater than delta u, our delta n must be positive. For option A, delta n is negative, negative 2. Option B, delta n is negative, negative 2. However, option C, delta n is positive. That is what? Positive 2. So option D is not the answer. Option A is not the answer. Option B is not the answer. The answer is option C. Option C. Clear? So watch and observe very well. Good. Okay. Can clean the board now, so we'll move to the next question. The next question is number 20. Number 20. Now, for the gaseous reaction, N2O4 gas give 2NO gas. A, delta H less than delta E. B, delta H equal delta E. C, delta H equals 0. D, delta H greater than delta E. Now recall that I said that delta E is also delta U. Internal energy can be represented with E or U. Pause this thing and solve it. You can do this thing yourself. Pause it. So let's solve. Delta H is equal to delta U plus delta N ROT. Delta N ROT is equal to summation in mole of the gaseous product minus summation in mole of the gaseous reactant. Okay, now for option, okay, now let's solve. Let's look for the summation of the mole of the gaseous reactant. They are all gaseous, right? Here is 2, these 2 here, and all the mole here are 1. 1 mole of N2O4 and 2 moles of NO2. So we are going to have 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is plus 1. Remember that, sorry, just delta n. Remember that if delta n is positive, what does it mean? It means that delta H is greater than what? Delta U, right? Yes. So my answer is not C. My answer is not A. My answer is not B. My answer is D. Whenever delta N is positive, it means that delta H is greater than delta. It means that my delta H is greater than delta U. So that's that. You can write down as we forge ahead. Okay. I hope I can clean now. So Number 21. Number 21. Delta U minus delta H for the formation of ammonia from nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas is option A minus 2ROT, option B 2ROT, option C ROT, option D 1 over 2 ROT. So it's a simple question you can solve, right? Yes, you can solve this question. It's very easy. So we'll try. How do we do this? Delta H is equal to delta U plus delta N ROT. All right? Yes. Delta N is equal to summation of mole of the gaseous product minus summation of mole of the gaseous reactant. So, however, we're told that ammonia is formed from nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas. So we have to write the equation so we can know the mole of the product and mole of the reactant. So N2 gas plus 3H2 gas will give us 2NH3 gas. This equation is balanced. So they are all gaseous. This coefficient here, which is the mole of ammonia, is 2. The mole of hydrogen is 3. The mole of nitrogen is 1. So the sum of the gaseous product is 2. The sum of the gaseous reactant, 3 plus 1 is 4. So 2 minus 4. So 2 minus 4 is going to give us minus 2. So delta H is equal to delta U minus 2ROT. Delta H minus delta U is equal to minus 2ROT. Now, but you have to be careful. This examiner is very smart. Once you get to this point, you can quickly rush down and pick this. But be careful. The answer they want here is not delta H minus delta U. However, it is that delta U minus delta H. Take note. So I'm going to make I'm going to find a way to create delta U minus delta H. So if I move my delta U back, I'm going to have delta H equals minus 2ROT plus delta U. If I move this here, I'm going to have delta H plus 2ROT equals delta U. Move delta H this way, we are going to have 2ROT equals delta U minus delta H. So we are having what is asked of us now, delta U minus delta H. So delta U minus delta H is equal to 2ROT. This is not the answer. This is not the answer. This is not the answer. However, the answer is option B. Good. All right. So this is very easy and easy to comprehend. All right. Yes. So we move to the next question, which is question number 22. Question number 22. Question number 22. for the reaction A plus 3B to give 4C plus D plus D. Option A, delta H is equal to delta U. Option B, delta H is equal to delta U plus 3 RT. Or delta H is equal to delta U plus RT. Option D, we have delta H equals delta U minus 3 RT. So I believe you can conveniently get this. You can conveniently get this. So pause, solve, play back to see if you are correct. So let's try. Let's try. Okay. Now delta H is equal to delta U minus delta N RT. Sure. Delta N is equal to summation of mole of the gaseous product minus summation of mole of the gaseous reactant. So if you know this, we can now solve. Now this is what? Not a gas. So I'll put 0 as the mole. This is not a gas. I'll put 0 as the mole. 4 times 0 is 0. This is a gas, 3. This is not a gas, 1 times 0. So everything times 0 is 0. So automatically this is out. This is out. This is out. So we are going to get everything here is 0. 0 minus 3 will be equal to minus 3. Right? Yes. So what is my delta H? Delta H is equal to delta U minus, this will be plus now. How did I write this? Plus A minus 3 RT. So my delta H is equal to delta U minus 3 RT. This is in the option. So this is out of it, out of it, out of it. The answer